I want to thank everyone for coming, and I know it's starting to feel a little like Groundhog's Day. You've been here. We know that we have one more system coming through. We will have snow in Seattle for the next several hours, but the latest forecast is that snow will turn to rain sometime around the evening commute or after that. It still presents very dangerous driving conditions for the people of Seattle and the region. I'm very pleased today to be joined here by Governor Inslee and Executive Constantine, as well as a number of our teammates who have been providing support around the clock. I want to thank first the people from Seattle and people around the region from doing their part. We saw a weekend with very few incidents. People were helping neighbors, staying off the roads, and because of the work of our navigation team and our frontline service providers, we were able to bring hundreds of more people inside out of the cold who are experiencing homelessness. We will continue that kind of outreach. As you'll hear today, we're opening additional short-term shelters to make sure people have a place to go. We're focusing on getting people food and other supplies as well. Depending on where you are in Seattle and in the region, you will get still more snow between now and when it changes to rain. And depending on how the convergence zone happens, some areas, and depending on their height, will continue to get snow. We know that the city of Seattle will continue to have snow, and when it turns to rain, it will still present a great deal of hazard for our roads, because as that rain hits the current snow and ice and gets compacted, it can turn our streets, our sidewalks into ice. Again, I want to thank everybody for doing what they've done to make sure that we're taking care of our neighbors and the people who can't take care of themselves, and that we're doing what we needed to do to stay off the streets. Please stay safe. You'll hear now from the governor next, and then Executive Constantine, and then we'll have updates from each of the city departments. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the mayor's leadership and the executives. But I want to note the real leaders here have been the people of the state of Washington. They have responded with great caution and great responsibility by essentially not driving when not necessary. This has been the single most important thing that we can do, and Washingtonians have been doing that. Our traffic volumes are down about 50 or 70%, and that means less people getting hurt. And so I want to thank the people of Washington and Seattle and King County of what they're doing to be safe. Those are the single most important acts of leadership, and we've had it across the state of Washington. So this is a big thanks to people in the state of Washington. But second, I want to thank the crews of all these agencies that have been working, from the State Department of Transportation. They are now working really long hours. We're asking them to do a lot more for the rest of the week. Same with the State Patrol and our many city agencies, police and fire and transportation. Let's help them get through the week safely by doing our part to reduce risks. Let's give those plows more room. When you see those flashing lights, we've already had 2 state troopers that have been struck. So let's give them an added measure of space in the next few days. The third message is that we are not done with this, and for the foreseeable future, caution is going to be the order for all of us. We've done really well together. People have been sharing their shovels to get sidewalks cleared. People have been helping their elderly neighbors. People have been reducing their traffic. We just need to keep that up for the next several days. One added announcement: we are amending an emergency declaration to make sure we can get de-icing agents to our airports. We're going to get that done in the next couple hours to keep that going. So let's be safe. Thanks. Constantine.
Well, thank you, Governor, Mayor. We are continuing at King County to manage these winter storms, to make adjustments to Metro bus service, to our emergency shelters, and to snow removal on unincorporated roads, including hundreds of miles of rural roads. This morning, before I got here, I visited with some of the vehicle maintenance staff at King County Metro, who are busy not only chaining up the coaches that are headed out, but repairing hundreds, well over 300 vehicles that have been damaged. And we need to get back in good repair so we can get back to full service when the snow's gone. I also visited with the maintenance staff at our facilities division, who are keeping over 40 county facilities across the county up and running. They have worked now for 8 days straight. Many of them have spent 3 or 4 nights in a row away from their families because, of course, this is a vast geography, and so They're deployed not just in downtown Seattle, but from Skykomish to Snoqualmie to the Kent Valley. And we are very pleased with the work they have done keeping us in business. King County is open for business today. King County continues to operate routes, Metro King County continues to operate routes on emergency snow network. I talked about that last time we were together. It provides service on 67 high ridership routes where shuttles where cities and the State Department of Transportation have prioritized snow removal. This is a system that we put together many years ago to make sure that even in an event like this, we could have reliable transportation. We shifted to the network on Saturday, and we continue the use of the emergency snow network through tomorrow. As you can see, it's snowing right now. There's a lot of uncertainty about what the next 12 to 18 hours holds, but we want to make sure that we keep people safe and that when they come to get a bus, that it is on a reliable route, that it's not going to get stuck, it's going to get them where they need to go. After tomorrow, or tomorrow morning, I'm going to make a decision about Wednesday. I'll make that based on advice from many folks, including most of all Rob Gannon, the general manager of Metro, about our level of service on Wednesday. Our goal is to offer safe, reliable Metro service now, but also to effectively manage our fleet and our employees so that we can get back to full service as quickly as possible when the weather allows. If we have snow accumulation tonight and early tomorrow, the emergency snow network will allow us to continue service on the main arterials that remain clear. Even if we have rain tonight, Metro is going to use that opportunity to catch up on repairing all of those coaches that have been damaged during the storm. As you imagine, it has been a difficult week for our operators and mechanics. Folks have been working many, many hours. Anyone who has tried to put chains on a car knows it's not easy. Try doing that on a 22-ton bus, not up on a hoist in the garage, but out on the streets of this county. It is a tough job, and we appreciate all the work folks have done. I want to thank our riders who've been patient and have expressed their support, and to those in Metro who have gone above and beyond, thank you for keeping up that pace a little longer. On shelters, we have over 300 beds in downtown core right now. About 200 people have been taking advantage of those at Harborview Hall, 4th and Jefferson, and the King County Administration Building over the last few nights. We have a day center at 4th and Jefferson and an overflow center in the King County Administration Building. More than 150 people spent time at the Jefferson Center yesterday and 82 others at the Administration Building. We're glad to offer them a cup of coffee, some companionship, and shelter from the storm. I spent a couple hours visiting with them yesterday afternoon, and I want to appreciate all of those from the Salvation Army, the Urban League, City of Seattle, and others who are helping us keep folks safe during this storm. As always, if you need information about the nearest shelter, if you see somebody who needs help, please call 211. Finally, in the unincorporated area, outside of our 39 cities, the roads crews are working 24 hours a day, 2 12-hour shifts, clearing snow and ice from main arterials. We have 28 trucks configured for snow removal, and roads crews have plowed about 8,700 lane miles. Most of our major roadways are open this morning, and I am right now, as soon as we leave, on my way to our emergency operations center, which is on the hill above Renton, to check up on how we're doing as this next system moves through. Thanks.